All of these deals announced this week were driving us at the index level when it comes to technology. We're now losing steam. What is the principal direction of travel here, Janet, when it comes to the tech sector?
Hi, thanks for having me, Ed. I do think that the markets have been rallied very strongly. It's almost like a straight line, particularly for the chip companies. So I think taking a breather is absolutely normal. And I think some investors would be taking profits. So I'm not too worried about that. I do think that the direction of travel would continue to be upward because what we have seen is that there are a lot of mega AI deals and they involve a lot of infrastructure, a lot of CapEx spending, and it stays within the AI ecosystem. And I think it just gives you visibility over that longevity of that AI spending.
Janet, the driver in Monday's market was the deal between AMD and OpenAI. We spoke to AMD CEO Lisa Su. Listen to this.
I have full confidence in OpenAI, Sam, Greg, Sarah. I mean, this is a massive opportunity for us. Right now, right here, it's about who has the most compute and how fast can we get it online. And we're committing to doing this together.
The question was whether OpenAI was good for the money that it needed to fund all of these projects. And the market seems nervous about that. How nervous about it are you?
So far, I think the financing has been coming from really investors and companies with very deep pockets. I mean, we're talking about the hyperscalers, including NVIDIA's investment into OpenAI. That's $100 billion there. So I guess, from the liquidity perspective, that's pretty ample. And so far, we're not seeing a lot of credit or debt financed activity going on into this AI spending. So I think on that front, I'm comfortable. And I think the key theme is that there's just so much demand for compute out there. So many companies can benefit from that. And the building of the infrastructure in AI, it involves not just a single company, but really countries and many companies working together in the ecosystem. So I believe that this really gives you visibility of the longevity of this AI trend going forward.
But the reporting keeps on coming back to us. Why, if there's unlimited demand for compute, does AMD need to give so-called incentives, it feels like, to OpenAI to share in on its own winnings of future revenue? Why does NVIDIA have to put $100 billion to work in terms of equity investment in OpenAI if they should be just winning out for the sheer demand and scale of compute? And why does Oracle become one of the best performing stocks when clearly some of the profit margins don't always accrue to an Oracle? How do we decide which company really should win here, Janet?
Yes, so I think the big players in this AI ecosystem, in this build-out of infrastructure, will likely be clear beneficiaries. I think that's more on the hardware, the equipment building side of AI. I mean, there will be definitely some big winners in the software side of things, but we don't know what's the next killer app, so that's a bit more difficult. And that's why I think the key favorite for investors remain that AI infrastructure build out, whether you talk about data center, cloud, compute, and etc. And I believe that, I think some concern is right. A lot of this, this closed loop of capital liquidity investment is based on confidence. It's really the confidence that there's going to be insatiable demand for compute, and it's really hard to gauge how much of that. But if we do believe in this, the leaders in AI, I mean, Jensen Huang talked a lot about how the demand for compute is just going to be so many, tenfolds up from here. So I think, I would like to listen and believe in the experts in terms of their vision on how much there is on the compute demand. And so far, it seems very, very solid.
Yeah, promises and vision. But Janet, what data do you turn to for hard fundamentals? Because at the moment, the MIT report showed that some of these ultimate focuses on productivity aren't actually paying off. Where is it that you're going to get your confidence that can be grounded in fact, not vision?
I mean, so far, if you look at the corporate earnings growth, right, you look at the hyperscaler, they're still delivering double-digit earnings growth. And in fact, you can attribute a lot of that to AI, the improved efficiency in, say, advertising, and cloud computing demand and things like that. Is actually a lot of a big proportion of the earnings delivery is already based on AI, and I think there's still a lot of potential. And I think in terms of the actual data, I think you just need to look at the earnings revision. I mean, typically you can see today from Dell, just one example, that earnings estimates and revenues are keep being revised outward. So there's really clear visibility. You're going to as far as 2030. So I think these are really hard data that you can look at.